Well, we may never be billionaires, but there is something we can actually learn from the rich and famous about managing our money.
Yeah, financial expert Nick Foulks of Drake & Associates joins us this morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and, becoming rich or, managing your money actually takes a lot of work. It doesn't happen overnight, that's for sure.
Exactly. That's one of the first things that people need to get into their mind. We have the lucky person who wins the Powerball or the Mega Millions and is rich overnight, but a lot of it takes a mindset of long-term investment and saying, okay, I'm going to get myself there over time. So that's important.
Because you don't have to be, wealthy or have a job that is six figures to be smart and eventually grow your wealth.
Exactly. It doesn't take 6 or 7 figure incomes necessarily to get yourself to that place of wealth, but what it does take is discipline and understanding what are the habits that wealthy people actually put into place for themselves so that they can be successful.
And let's talk about some of those habits. The big one, the first one, is starting early. So the younger you are, you should start now,
Exactly. Age-old adage, right? Invest early, invest often. Whenever I'm speaking, especially to young people, I say, let's start thinking about your last day of work on your first day of work. If you want to retire at a certain timeline, put that in your mind and begin to save as though that is your goal. That's where you want to head. So take advantage of your employee-sponsored plans, like a 401k or a 403b or 457, all of those numbers and letters going together, right? The important thing is this. Oftentimes they have what's called a company match. It simply means that they give you an incentive for saving. So if you're going to put away 3% of your income, they'll match it. If you put away 5% of your income, they'll match it. Take advantage of that so that way you can build that for yourself and get some extra cash on the side from the company.
It's like free money.
Yeah, giving yourself a raise. You just don't get to spend it until you're retired.
Exactly, 59 and a half.
All right, number two tip here is go auto. What does that mean?
Going auto is all about automating your savings. A lot of times when we have bills that we need to pay, we have to pay it automatically. We set it up so that we don't forget. It's because we owe somebody something, right?
Sure.
Think of it this way. You owe it to your future self to save. So automate savings for yourself. I say put away about 10% of your income and pay it just like a bill. Put a portion into your investing account and put a portion into your savings account, but automate it so that way you're not going, oh, do I have to write a check or do I have to move this money over? It's just automatic. You don't even see it.
And it's a lot easier now with banks these days. You could just set that up online.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things I'll recommend, set up a savings account at a different bank that you don't normally access, or some of the online banks where it takes you a day or two to get the money, so that way you can really go to, I actually need that, or am I just kind of making this a secondary checking account?
That's a good
convenience. You're just taking it out of your own account. All right, the other one is pay it off.
Yeah, wealthy people know that if you have debt carrying interest with it, that's going to stop you from being able to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. The average person in Wisconsin will pay approximately $144,000 in interest over their lifetime. $144,000 in interest. Now,
is that credit card debt or just debt in general?
Just debt in general. So that's going to include your home, your car, your credit cards. If that's just credit cards, then we really need to get some help, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's all about getting yourself organized if you want to pay off debt. We have a great worksheet on our website, wealthwisconsin.com, that can help people organize and then create a system to pay off that debt. Sometimes starting with the lowest balance and then building some momentum. Other times you're starting with the highest interest rates and knocking that off so you can stop the compounding payment.
Interesting. Well, what if some days you just want to splurge? I mean, you feel that way, once in a while, but splurge smartly, you say.
Splurge smart. If you want a $6,000 pillow, you need to think about it.
What if it's treat yourself?
Right?
If you want to splurge, you have to kind of divide it out over the amount of times you're going to use it. So a common way to think about it is something like a boat. A boat isn't a necessity for people, but it can be a splurge for people. So think about it this way. We live in Wisconsin. How many months per year will I get to use it? How many years will I keep it? Get that total and then divide the cost of the boat by that total and you'll know, okay, this is how much I'm paying per use of this boat and see if it's actually cost effective for you. Splurge wisely.
Right. Well, I guess there are splurges like that may maintain some value because the boat can be resold, and then there are splurges that are just gone because you ate that $6,000 piece of cake or whatever. you devoured the pillow in the middle of the night. I don't know. You got to adjust your attitude, apparently.
Yeah. I think that anything in life, you have to have a mindset that you're going to be successful in that route. And it's the same thing with our finances. I challenge people to ask themselves this question. Are you working to actually build wealth for yourself? Or are you working to pay the bills? If you're just working to pay the bills, then challenge yourself to what's called the 70-30 principle. It means start living off of 70% of your net income and utilize the other 30% to go to work for you. 10% into savings, 10% into investing, and then 10% towards giving, being generous.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
So if you can look at it from that perspective, changing your mindset that I'm doing this to build wealth for myself, it can be a huge tool for you.
Good advice. Nick Foulks, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
What's that?
I'm going to remember that.
You're going to start the 70-30?
Maybe.
I like that idea. Well, good for you. And hopefully everybody else gets some use out of that and do what you can to build your wealth. We will be back with more Real Milwaukee in just a little bit.